thank you for taking the time. And we were connected by the Nirvana folks. When did you first come on board as an investor and an ambassador to the brand?
Now it's been probably a little bit over a year, or maybe about a little bit over a year, I would say. And yeah, it was just a former teammate of mine. It kind of reached out and was like, "P, this right here is a pretty good thing. Like, check it out, do your due diligence." And I did, and it was like a no-brainer almost.
Was it the kind of thing that you heard about it and you said, I'm on board, or was it a long negotiation process? Because let's face it, you're a pretty good businessman.
Shucks, man, I wouldn't say that, but I'm trying to learn this space, and obviously, I've had experiences before, but just going through having that experience, then doing the due diligence, and really, and really the name kind of caught me. It was the name at first, aside from a teammates bringing it to me, but people bring you stuff all the time, but it was the name, and then after I began to research a little bit more, get to know the people behind it, really understanding that a name is just a name, but it's the people behind it that's going to be pushing it and bringing it forth that really makes it go. And so, again, it was, why not?
It's water that's meant to change you in terms of helping with recovery beyond tasting great. Were you always into the forefront of sports nutrition your whole life, or was that just like a later in your athletic career you became aware of everything?
Truthfully, when I look back on things now, every time I feel like I learned something, it's something that I was maybe not consciously doing. I don't want to say not consciously, but wasn't consciously aware of maybe what they got named and stuff for them now, like intermediate fasting and all these different things. And I'm like, wow, I was doing this when I was playing and didn't know it. But obviously, some things had to work out in my favor to be able to, execute in those ways. And so, it's amazing each time I feel like I learned something new. It's something I feel like I was doing. I just didn't have a name for it, but that's the beauty in, learning. So.
When I was a kid playing sports after school, it was just kind of like you'd have regular tap water, or maybe every now and then there'd be an electrolyte branded drink or two. There wasn't quite HMB in my drink. So it makes you think in a way, with today's regular athletes having access to this from a younger age, could it be that the future athletes are just going to be better than the guys you were on the field with?
I will say to what you were saying back in the day, it was, other products, and to have, this Nirvana water be a wellness water for young and old, that was, again, a big key. And so for youngsters now, I feel like, the earlier that you can, start learning how to replenish your body, educating yourself, and really not just educating yourself, but having the proper things to, once you're educated, to be able to go and find and bring it in, is really, I think it's going to work out well for everyone involved. So.
What was the sports medicine like at Ole Miss? I mean, standout player. I know you're a multi-sport athlete in general, but did they have anything like that? Or is it just once you get to the NFL, that's when the real sports medicine happens?
Yeah, truthfully, I feel like it's when you get to the NFL, the real sports medicine happened. Obviously, Ole Miss, probably not the top of the tier, but, we done our best. But I feel in the core of me that being a part of Nirvana Water is one of those things that, something that, Ole Miss could hear about, or any university or any program. I mean, even my high school. And again, that's the great thing about being a part of Nirvana, and from an ambassador, but then also looking to do things, that I'm a part of by bringing this water into those spaces. So I'm excited about, everything that this water is about, from wellness to even, to the best of it. So.
And you have a very public email address at this time. People can find your contact info very easily on social media. Does that mean that in general, you're looking for good investment opportunities, that you like incubators and startups? Being an entrepreneur, and then having a philanthropy side of things, just,
it's early on, I truly understand how it all works, but what I'm learning now is, look at a plethora of things. It don't mean you have to be involved in every single last thing, but I kind of look at it, I'm like, why not have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then you just kind of see where things fall. But every now and then, something just feels absolutely amazing. And I don't want to, knock on wood, I don't want to, jinx it, but this Nirvana water from just, and I'm also a type of person, I can't really get behind something that I'm not, that I don't do it myself, and partake and understand the product. And that was a big part of that too, is that I'm like, wow, the water is amazing.
Mhm.
I use it myself. And I'm 37 now. If I'd have had this water when I was younger, who knows, the hydration, the recovery level that could have been even more optimal at that age. So.
It's very interesting looking at your story and what you've accomplished and what you're still accomplishing, in that you are young. Like all the stuff that you accomplished as in your late teens, your 20s, and now your 30s, God willing, you have a lot of years ahead of you. So you kind of front loaded the success in a way. But how much of what you're doing now did you dream of as a kid, that you say, one day I hope to be an entrepreneur and an all-star football player? Did that really happen in your dreams, or is this just everything organically progressed for you?
Yeah, it was a vision. Like, for me when I was a kid, I had this thing of just wanting to be special. And in different forms that was, and when I look, oftentimes I find myself looking back now and I'm like, wow, like I really thought about this life when I was young. I said I wanted to be able to be in a position one day to be able to do amazing things and not just have amazing things, but be able to do amazing things and be able to, most importantly, give back, so that those who are on their journey or in their journey, on their journey, can maybe, use something that maybe I left behind as a stepping stone. I don't know what that would be, but it's just leaving something behind. So I try not to have an agenda behind what it is. I just try to, put forth good things. And like I said, maybe someone can use it as a stepping stone and catapult themselves on up to even greater heights.
You're doing it. Well, 3 quick questions, and then I'm going to let you go. And the first one is, I read you studied criminal justice in your undergraduate degree. I'm a private investigator. That's just something I wound up doing in the last couple of years. Where are you at with all that? Are you just so busy with Nirvana and the other stuff that you're looking into that you're too busy, or one day might you still be in criminal justice?
Yeah, ever since I was a kid, I grew up, I don't know if it was just being around my grandfather and grandmother them, but watching Columbo and being Matlock them, I just started feeling like, and all the TV shows from Dick Tracy, I always had a knack for justice and wanting to solve crimes to, quote unquote, make the world a better place, if I can and whatnot. And so, so just having that mentality. And then I told myself, when I got out, it's been 7 years now, I said I would give myself the same amount of time that I gave myself, dedicated to the game, that I would be selfish in a sense. And when I say selfish, I mean like learn, spend time learning, and not just, not doing anything, but spend time learning. And when I come forth this next time, then perhaps, anything is possible. I'm able to maybe, check out what the criminal justice side offers, along with continue to be an entrepreneur, and do other things. So in my world, I try to be multifaceted, just like being on the field. I kind of pride myself on being a multi-diversity player, where not just playing one position, but an athlete that can play multiple. So I try to bring that same apparatus to the business world, so entrepreneur world.
It sounds like the challenge is there not being enough time to do all the things you want to do. So
so it's something like that. So yeah.
Next thing I want to know, when you have control of the radio, the speaker, whatever it is that you listen to music on, what do you choose? What's your usual go-to?
Man, that's a great question, Darren. sometimes, at one point in time, it used to be, grew up country, country music, gospel music. But as I get older now, it's like I love, like, I don't mind listening to opera. I don't mind listening to like sound frequencies, more like just, harmonizing music that's not so much about the words as much as it is about the tones and frequencies or whatnot. So yeah, I would say I think it was Nikola Tesla that said, if you truly want to understand the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibrations. And so I've found in listening to that kind of music, my vibrations tend to be pretty high and good. But man, I honestly like to listen to a little bit of everything. There ain't nothing that's on my iPad or on my playlist that you'll be like, man, you listen to this, everything from old to new. But I really love old music. So I guess to sum it up, I really love, like, I'm an oldies junkie. I love anything from 60s, 70s. I'm an 80s child, so anything in them 80s.
Sure.
So yeah.
Wow, the frequencies. And the last thing I got for you, favorite TV show of the moment. Can you make a recommendation for a new show that my wife and I should start watching? Because every time we start a new show, we finish it in 4 days and we go, what? So we go to smart people and we go, what do you like?
Yeah. I tend to like, sci-fi and mythological superheroes, goons and goblins, fairies, and all those things. And so I found myself here recently watching Van Helsing. So I'll be watching like those type of shows. But I will say I did catch myself watching just recently. I think it was called the Gemstones.
The Righteous Gemstones. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I interviewed that guy, Keith, the blonde mullet, tattooed former Satanist. Hilarious.
And shout out to I call him Kenny Powers, but Danny McBride. I was able to do commercials with him early on in my career, during my career and whatnot, and to see him acting in that show, it just brings it all full circle. And so that was a pretty cool show amongst many other things, documentaries and whatnot. So yeah.
You have interesting taste in everything I've asked about. Patrick, hence the greatness of Nirvana. Looking forward to what's coming next from you. Stay interesting, stay inquisitive, and I think you're inspiring a lot of people with what you do.
No, I really appreciate it. And if I could real quick, I would say, I'm one of the things that I'm really my initiative these days is I just started my foundation, the Winker's Mind Youth Fund Foundation, and it's pretty much about empowering and lifting others as we rise. Again, it's all about giving back and trying to help the next one on that journey in whichever way that may be. So that's been pretty cool. And we got the P. Willie Fit Zone. So, that's I'm trying to get up some more of those. I done one for my hometown in December. And so hopefully better do some more coming up soon. But yeah, I appreciate it, Darren. Let's go Nirvana.
I guess the answer is keep watching your social media accounts, and we'll be able to follow the foundation, Nirvana, other projects, etc. I think that's
absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks, Patrick. Have a wonderful rest of the day, man.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you, buddy.
Paltrocast.